Hi, this is Dawn Olszewski and welcome to another episode of How'd She Do That? And today we're going to make this card. Love it. I actually saw it at an event that I attended of Sue Adams and Janet Baker. It was on the display board and it totally caught my eye because this is an unusual use from a framelit that's actually for flowers, and it's now being used for snowflakes. So how brilliant is that? Plus there's a little cutting trick that I'm going to show you as well. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is do a little stamping. I'm using the Snowflakes Cerise. It's a stamp set out of the Holiday Mini Catalog from Stampin' Up's 2012 catalog. We're going to use Baja Breeze, and that is this image right here. And then we're going to use for this smaller snowflake, this is Sahara Sand. Now we're going to cut these with the framelits. This is the Floral Frames, and it comes with 5 shapes here. And we're going to use the 3 middle ones here, the 3 smallest ones, if you want to call it. So I'm going to pull these out. And I'm actually going to cut the largest one without the stamp. I'll get to that in a minute. And then the smallest one is going to be cut with this image here. I'll just place it on there. And then this one, nope, I did that wrong. It's going to be this one. And then this snowflake is going to be cut with the middle one. So it seems a little bit odd. This image, we're just going to cut out a portion of it, and this image we're going to cut out the whole thing, and this one we're just going to cut out a blank one to start with. So let's run that through the big. Okay, so how I cut this was on tab 2, and it's just sandwiched in between 2 clear plates. Put this out of the way. And here we go. We'll just pop everything out. And isn't that brilliant how someone saw that these would fit in the floral frames? I think that's just so clever. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take, these 2 are ready to go, but this one's not quite ready to go. So what we're going to do with it, so it originally was cut like this, and now what we're going to do is we're going to cut it again. And this is kind of an old trick. This is kind of an old punch trick. Now you see how, like I say, it was cut like this. We're just going to turn it just a little bit so that the points land in the center of each of those petals. And I'm going to run it through again through the big. Okay, so here we go. This is just so cool. Love it. Look at that. Isn't that clever? So we just doubled the number of petals on this card, and you aren't going to believe the next step how wonderful this fits together. Alright, so just to remind you, normally we stamp and then cut when we're using framelits, because of course you can see through to them off like a punch. But for this one, we needed to cut it first, and now we're going to stamp it. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up. This is Baja Breeze. And again, this is a snowflake from that same stamp set. And the easiest way to do this is to look at these kind of some of your star points and line them up. So actually, I'm going to pull this in a little bit closer to me. And I think the best way to do this is kind of really get your head up right over it. And that looks good. Press that down and then pull it off. That's pretty darn close considering we didn't use a Stamp-A-Majig. So there is our flower that is turned into a snowflake. So I'm going to put all 3 of these snowflakes together with dimensionals. Put them in together any way you want here in terms of positioning. Now we're going to add an actual snowflake feature. This is the silver glimmer paper, and I have cut this on the Snow Flurry die. I'm just going to take this, I'm going to add some dimensionals here, and we're going to put it on the back of this. All right. Just prepping this panel here. This measures 4 inches by 5¼ inches, and I have run it through the Big Shot already with one of our embossing folders, and this is the Delicate Designs. It comes with 2 folders. They're kind of for borders. One's a snowflake design and one is kind of a doily edge design. And I have used the snowflake one. So I've already positioned that in here and ran it through. And then when I was done, I ran just a strip, and this is about 1/8 of an inch wide by, of course, the 5¼ inch. And I've added that to this panel and stamped the Believe from that same set. And this is Sahara Sand again. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add that to the panel. Now, I did not put adhesive here because I don't like to do that on the back of this because I'm afraid it's going to flatten it out. So I like to put a strip of adhesive where I know it's going to land on my panel, or excuse me, on my base of my card. Now I'm just going to add it to the base, and this base measures, it was 5½ by 8½ just folded in half. Add it there. I've added some dimensionals on the back here, and then just put our card roughly like that. You can put it anywhere you want, but there you go. There's our. Isn't that beautiful? Be sure to stop by my blog at dostampingwithdawn.com for lots more inspiration and creative ideas.